Welcome to the SCUM's fishing tutorial training video on special request. Today I'm going to show you basically how fishing works in SCUM. So there's two different types of waters. You have two different types of water, but there are different types of bodies of water. So let me explain. Types of water is fresh water, which is the river or a lake. And then you have the salt water, which is the sea. And you can fish from land or you can fish from your boat. Now I've got a dinghy, so there's no storage on here. Even though the fish will fall in the boat, when you drive your boat, the fish will just fall out. So you've got to have a backpack on you. If you have the motorboat, then it's fine. With a box in it, you can store the fish in the box on your motorboat, so that's fine. Then the different bodies of water, you've got the ocean, and you've got shallow ocean water, and you've got deep water. That's when you go on your boat to the deeper side. That's when you want to catch your big fish, like your tuna and things. Then you've got your river. You've got big river, small river, right? So those are the two types of rivers. This is the big river. And then you've got small river. Now you can only catch small fish, I think, in the small river, and then you can catch the bigger ones in the big river, big and small, which I'll explain now. Then you've got your big lake and small lake, right? So those are all different bodies of water, as I call them. So it depends on what you want to catch. You get 3 size baits. Tackle, your hooks. You get a small hook, you get a medium hook, and you get a large. And you also get the double fish hooks. I'll take that out so you can see quickly. Double fish hooks, and you get your triple fish hooks, right? Now the medium-sized fishing hook, and the double and the triple are good for your big fish, like your tuna and your catfish and stuff. And then your smaller hooks are for the tinier fish. Then you've got your line, which I usually use the nylon thick one for my tuna and catfish. Let me just go to my fishing box. You can get medium lines, you can get thin lines, you can get thick lines. And it's the thickness of the line basically, and you can use the thinner lines to catch smaller fish. So it all depends what you're aiming to catch. Then you can have different baits. You have your meat fish backs, which is basically for your ocean. You have your live bait. You have, I don't have it here now. Let me see if it's in this backpack. Hold on. I'll show you now. Yeah, you can have cheese slices, you can have corn, you can have crickets and grasshoppers, you can have worms. So there's different types of bait depending on what you're trying to catch. Now I'm going for tuna, so for me that's a big fish. It can go up to 50 kilograms. So the tuna goes for this live bait. Well, this is bleak fish bait, so this is actual bleak fish. They wiggle, I think, live on your hook, I'm not sure. And then you get your boilies. Now your boilies is what I use the most, because most fish go for the boilies. It's great. And the tuna you can catch in the ocean or in the water. I think I've caught it in both, so that's also nice. Then I've got these floater packs. I usually go for these thick floater packs because I find the thinner, which I don't have here, but the thinner floater packs, let me just show you. The thinner ones, I feel, it's probably just me, but I feel like the fish don't see them as well. These things, unless you're going for the smaller fish, then they might see it. So I'll just keep one on me. But now I'm running out of fish space. Now let me get out of the screen. Okay, so that's the different tackle. Your tackle is your line, your hook and your floater, right? Then you've got your reels. I've got Fishing Reel Pros. I've got a few of them from prizes I've won and from looting. So you attach them onto the rod. So you've got your rod. So let me just take this off so I can show you. When you get your rod, it has nothing on it, right? So you first got to put your reel, obviously. Then you put your line on the reel. You put the hook on the line, and you can put your floater on the line. You can. It's actually, I think, in reality, because I've done reel fishing, it's meant to be that way around. The hook goes at the end of the floater. Doesn't really matter in the game. You can have it the other way around. Then you put your bait on the end once everything's settled, and you've got to see the bait here, otherwise it doesn't attach. Okay, so that is the mechanics of fitting your fishing. So I'm at a river now. On this ocean, when you throw your line in, the bobble tends to stay where it lands unless you reel it in a bit. It doesn't float away, in other words. In the river, like this one, you can see the current is going that way, which is why I built my boathouse like this, because the river carries my boat downstream. So if I put my boat here, my boat will just go back inside there. So that's why I have it like this, because the river's continuously trying to float it that way. Same with my bobble. When I throw the fishing line in, my bobble will go with the current. So just keep that in mind. Even lakes don't look like they have much of a current, but they have a tiny one. I've seen it. You just have to pay attention to that current, because, for instance, I'm fishing that way. So it's kind of taking it away from me, but I can keep reeling it in a bit to stop it from going too far. It's different. I will show you when I fish here. It's terrible. It takes the bobble down this way, and I have to continuously turn with it, which I will show you. It's crazy. Well, it's better to fish in first person view, I feel. So I can actually see the line. Then you put your fishing rod in hand, which is what I've just done by pressing on number 1. Then to activate it and get it ready, you just click the mouse button. Then you should see your fishing rod. So that's settled. You'll see, you guys probably know this, but I'm just doing this for people that haven't played before, and also just in case you want to relearn it. There's a meter on the right hand side. It's hard for me to show you now because I can't, there's no mouse cursor, but if you look on the right hand side, there's a meter. And you can hold in the mouse button to throw further, right? Which is fine if you're catching small fish, not a problem. I'll show you quickly. And then I'll show you why I don't do it if I catch a big tuna. But basically you hold it in and you release. So you wait for, you'll see it floating downstream, which is why I fish a different way. You wait for that to drop down, which means the fish has bitten. And once it does that, you click the left mouse button. You don't hold it in, you click it to strike. It's called a strike, right? So you strike the reel, and then once you have it, you scroll your mouse button down to reel in. Now if you hold in the shift button and scroll at the same time after you've striked, once you have the fish, you hold shift and you move your mouse button very quickly. That reels in fast. The problem is that you've got to watch, and I'm not going to do the fast way now, you've got to watch the meter on the right hand side, because if it goes into the red, it means there's tension on your fishing rod, and if it stays there for too long, your line, your hook, and your bobble, basically the line will break. Oh, there we go. So I didn't break my line. So great, let's keep that. Okay, so you saw me reel it in. I don't know if you saw on the right hand side where the meter went up. Now, if you've thrown too far, I was lucky now actually, but if your line's too far and you have a heavy fish and you take too long to reel it in, it will break your line. So a lot of people, what they do is they don't reel it in quickly. They reel slow until it's red. then they let go. Then they either let go or they scroll up a bit to loosen the line, and then they reel. So I will do the slow version now. I won't reel in fast like I just did now, because I was a bit afraid I was going to lose my line with that tuna. So I'm going to now stand where I usually... No, let's do a long one. I'm going to do a long one again, because I want to show you guys what it's like to fight with it if you don't do it the fast way like I do it, okay? This when I started, I did it this way, which is why I lost a lot of lines with heavy fish. If you're catching bleak, okay, here we go. Look on the right-hand side. It went red. I now released a bit. Now it's pulling up. You see it's pulling. Oh, it's red again. Loosen, up, loosen. Now, there I lost my line. You see? So, he was obviously a heavy tuna. If it was a normal fish, if you had kept doing that, scroll, release, scroll, release, you will eventually catch it. If it's a very small fish, you won't have any problems at all. It will be very quick and easy. But I have tuna here, a lot of tuna, so I'm constantly going to have tuna up my neck. So if you saw that now, it's fine to scroll, let it go red and then drop a bit and so forth until you can get it in. You don't even have to loosen it. Sometimes you just reel in till it's red. Don't do anything, just let go. Wait for it to drop a bit, reel again, and you keep doing that until you get to it. Now for me, that is a very, very laborious, long way of doing things. So what I do is something very different. Which is so quick. This is why I hardly lose lines. But I mean, try that other method with smaller fish. I mean, go ahead and experiment with reel in, let go when it's red. Watch it drop down a bit. Reel in again, let go when it's red. And so forth and so on. Just play around a bit with that. But if it's a heavy fish, don't. You're going to lose your line all the time. Especially tuna and catfish, you are not going to win that battle. I promise you, it doesn't work. He keeps going in the red and he will break your line. So when it comes to heavier fish, so I've got everything set up again. So let's go here. When it comes to heavier fish, let me put this on. I prefer you shouldn't throw your line far. Don't hold in the mouse button and throw your line far. You want to keep this line as close to you as possible, right? You don't want to give the tuna and catfish time to break your line. So you throw it in close, but because this is a river, it's going to pull my line away. It will. So I reel it in a little bit. I hold shift and I also bring it in like that. The river is going to take it away again, but slowly, which is fine. Once you have it, you click to strike. And then as soon as you reel, you hold that shift button and you reel in as fast as you can. Don't even stop. Don't even blink. You will have that tuna and catfish in no time. No problem. I hardly ever lose lines like that. There comes times where my line just disappears randomly, and I think it's because I've worn out the line from doing it too many times, I suspect. But it's really the best win situation. For me, it works with catfish and tuna all the time, so I rarely catch other types of fish. If you see on the surface of the water, I'm not talking about where my bobble is, the other areas, that is where the fish are actually nibbling. But you can try and fish there and they'll... See, I wasn't even doing it where the bubbles were. I was doing it, but I'll just let it catch it by itself. So that's an indication of where the fish actually are. But I don't know. The fish anyway eat the bait. It doesn't seem to matter. So again, throw in, wait for it to bite. As soon as it goes down, you left click and then you hold shift and you reel as fast as you can. It's really that simple. Nice and quick. Yeah, all the time. Even on a boat. It's, to me, the best fishing method. Even small fish. Just do it with small fish. It doesn't matter. Just get your practice in. At first, it's difficult to get the hang of, but once you have your fingers in the right position, like in the WASD position and your pinky on the shift button, and you just hold in with your pinky, you're sorted. Just don't do what I did where I... Hold on. There you go. Don't do what I did. Because my fingers are automatically by the movement buttons all the time, like fixed in that position. When I press shift and reel in to catch the fish, I sometimes press up by mistake and I land up in the water. I've done that on a boat and I almost died. So just be careful and note. You can even take your fingers away from the movement buttons. You don't need them. Honestly, you don't. I can look around with my mouse. So maybe just take your fingers away and hold the fingers by a shift button instead. I've learned not to press the up button now because my fingers are just stuck there. But just for safety's sake, try not to press up or down or left or right while you're fishing. And then you get periods where you're waiting and you're like, are there fish? But there's always fish. Tuna! Oh, I wasn't paying attention. There's a competition for getting close to 26. I'm such an idiot. I haven't been taking any screenshots. Okay. So I'll just keep practicing. Throw in. So there's a competition. I think it's 26 point something, something, something. And we've got a screenshot the closest to that. I think I've got a 30 now. But if I get a 27, 25, or 26, I'll take a screenshot. I know I can take a screenshot with the game bar. I just got to figure out where those images go. Fish got away. That's fine. So a quick lesson on fish got away. Unlike games like Fishing Planet, where the fish gets away and the bait actually goes with it, if a fish gets away in this game, 23! Look at that. Okay, let me screenshot that quickly. Hold on, guys. Oh, but it was 26, I think. Let me just take a photo. See my captures. Why didn't you throw it in? What's wrong with you? There we go. This way. But thanks for hosting the server, Mr. Breadface. I actually really appreciate it. It's an awesome server. And thanks for always getting a hold of the developers to find out what's going wrong, what's happening and stuff. In case anyone's wondering, the reason I have the flag's baseline on is it actually helps me. Oh, that's closer. Okay, hold on. Let me take a picture quickly. Snap. See my captures. Make sure I've got it. Yeah. That's pretty close, guys. Let's take one of these guys out. Not the 26er. Let's take the 34er. So, okay. It's important that you have... Because I don't know... Maybe you can make fish soup. I'm not sure. It's important that you have one of the cooking books for this. Now, I had the barbecue one. Yeah. Okay. I was told once you have this in your inventory, you learn it. Or once you've gone into the cooking menu, you learn the recipe. Now you see, this is why I say it doesn't always work like that, because look how few recipes I have here. Now there's no pizzas, right? There's no pizzas there. So if I take the Pizza cookbook and I now go here, sorry, let's go out of here. Crafting. There, now I've got pizza. But if I take it away, maybe if I actually make the pizza, that could be it. See, now the pizza's gone. So now I'm wondering if it's a case of if you actually... Because if I take the barbecue away, now the barbecue cookbook gives me this grilled stuff. If I take the barbecue book away, it still stays there, but the reason is I've made grilled fish, but I haven't made these things. So I'm wondering, I need to figure out how this works. Why some cookbooks stay here even though you haven't, stay here if you put the book away, and other books, the recipes vanish. And I'm wondering if it's, you've got to actually make something from that book to unlock it. I don't know. Whichever. The barbecue cookbook gives you grilled fish, which is what I make a lot. So let's go back into this mode, and it looks like my flashlight wants to die. Yeah, let's turn that off. So first of all, obviously you have to chop your fish. I say obviously, but maybe it's not that obvious. So you right click on the fishy and you say chop. Now depending on the size of the fish, you'll get a whole bunch of fish pieces like so. And if it's a small fish, you'll get fewer pieces. It might say 1 out of 1 instead of 3 out of 3. And also, when you make the grilled fish like this one here, it says 9 out of 9, but that's because I had a massive tuna. If you catch small fish, it usually says 1 out of 1. So the bigger fish make bigger grilled fish plates. Okay, so that's very important. Then you light your fire. Now, don't click on this, although you could say cook food. Let's see if that works. Oh, you can say cook food. Great. If you don't say cook food, you can always go open your inventory, crafting, and you'll find it in the cooking menu up here at the end. Sorry, I just realized my subscriber thing is in the way. Just hold on. There we go. Okay, so up here in crafting, on the right at the end is cooking, and you can check your recipes that you have over here, or you can go into cooking mode. Or shortcut, just press F on there and you go straight into cooking. So I click on the pan and I tell it grilled fish and I say cook, and I do this for both. So the menu is open. Now the salt and the oil is optional. You don't have to have it. I like adding oil because what happens is, I'll show you quickly the difference. With just the fish, I can put 2 in a pan, right? So you say cook, and then we just wait 3.5 minutes. I'm running out of oil, but I will show you with the last of the oil that I have. I know that you can make oil somehow. I can't remember if it's a plant or something, but anyway. And then we wait for the timer. There's a timer at the top. Thank you for checking in. So once this bar goes green, I'll hydrate now. Thank you for, oh, I can't. Once this bar goes green, you can already take it off if you want. I like to wait until the last second, and then I take it off. So let's just wait there. And then we click to stop cooking, and it says well cooked. Okay. So now I want to show you, if I go to here. Sorry, not here. Cooking. Cooking. I've got 2 more oils. That's fine. Now, if we go here and we go there, there, and there, and we start cooking, you will see that it goes up a star. It says excellent. I'm assuming if you fill all the spots or you hit the timer just right, then you get a perfect. I don't know. I've only had an excellent so far. I also don't know if there's a difference in taste, to be honest. That's a 9 out of 9. Yay! So we wait for it to finish cooking. Almost there. Just, it says a minute, but it's actually faster. The game goes on like super speed. Almost done. And go. There we go, excellently cooked. And that's just adding oil. So yeah, let's go back to cooking. Let's plonk this over here. And let's continue. Cook. Grilled fish, go. Grilled fish, go. And then we add our last fish. Now you can do both at the same time. Both pans. I've got two pans, that's why I can do this. The reason I have two menus is because I've got two pans on the fire. So I can grill both at the same time. I've just got to make sure that I stop them at the same time. I've got to be fast about it. Click and click. Now I used to sometimes go do other things quickly while I waited, but then I came back and I overcooked it. So now I rather just have patience, to be quite honest. So the one fish, we'll see now, has given me... Oh, that was a 10 out of 10. I thought it said 9 out of 9. Interesting. Gave me a... Oh, that was the excellent cooked fish. 10 out of 10. Okay. So we'll see this one tuna gave me... Let's see. It is 10, 19, 26, 30 fish. Food. 30. That's cool. Not bad, eh? One tuna gave me 30. Very cool. Oh, let me put this out. I saw my guy say he's getting hot. Put out. So I love fishing because it just keeps me fed, man. I don't have to go looking for food. But the problem is this is very important, is that you cannot live on fish alone. I've learned, and it's not that important. But the reason, if you look at my metabolism, look at my different vitamins, they've dropped quite low, and look at my carbs, which is why I'm not picking up any muscle, because my carbs is forever empty. So the fish doesn't give you that, so you've got to get rice in your diet. What I've got is, I've got chips. It's got 28 kilograms of carbs. I've got meaty spice packs. It's got 6 grams. It's not a lot. I've got these crackers, which is 23 grams of carbs. Let's see, 28 grams for the potato chips, spicy. The spices also give you carbs.